And welcome and good morning. That's going to be our special guest. Look at him. I thought we'd go ahead and show him there. Kojak is in the office with us today.
Sneak peek.
All I'm missing is a hat and a lollipop.
That's why I asked him for the lollipop. Ski will be joining us here in just a little bit. Sheriff's Department doing something kind of great. We want you to know about it today. But he's all dressed up. You know, what happened to Kojak? That was such a good little TV show.
It was.
And for those of you going, what? And there are some that are going, what?
There ain't nobody out there that don't know who Kojak is.
That's who Kojak was.
Be.
The lollipop.
Interestingly enough,
Totally
Greek
Savalas.
American.
He was. Yeah. What was his? He also had a brother that was an actor, if I remember right.
Right.
Big burly guy that was on that TV show, if I remember right. It just and I
Totally
just
Savalas, was that it?
that may have been. It's been a little while since I saw his
Totally
name.
Savalas, I believe. Yeah.
But we were
Even
at
Chief says.
lunch the other day, and it was brought up of what happened to America and a group that could come up with a new idea. It's almost as if they
these
just
millennials.
they can't come up
They
with
can't
it.
even come up with their own TV shows. They got to remake everything.
That's what I mean. It's remake, and wow,
man.
wow. Lots going on today. We're so glad that you can be with us. We're going to update you on everything that's going on locally and what's going on behind the scenes. I brought this up the other day. You and I were there not long ago and had the biscuits. What do they got in them?
The lobster biscuit.
Yeah, but it's got, what's in those Red Lobster biscuits? Buttermilk
Butter and more butter.
Is it shrimp or?
It's lobster, I think.
Okay, whatever it is,
If it's
good.
lobster, it's the only lobster I'll ever eat.
They have shut down roughly about a dozen restaurants nationwide in Chapter 11. Could be more to come. Let's hope ours makes it because, well, it's good. I enjoy eating there.
Yeah. They've got a great steak, believe it or not.
But, you know, since COVID, we have seen the demise of restaurant after restaurant. It just changed the way things worked of being able to find people that wanted to work. And,
You know, talking about that, Robin said Red Lobster cheddar biscuits. So maybe got some cheese in it.
yeah, it
I
does
don't
have
know.
cheese in it. It's good.
But you got some Alabama schools going, guys, we've got a problem. Financial wise, we're not in good shape. The COVID money is about to run out. Here's my question. What'd y'all do before COVID? What'd you do before you had an influx of money? You had a budget. You had so much. And I can tell you it's just like everybody else. They raised what they get every year from the citizens that they serve. So they raised up the money they got. But now you're saying, oh, we're in financial despair because we're losing money that was given us. Y'all were given that money to buy precautionary equipment. These plastic shields, face masks, hand sanitizer. That's what you were meant to use this money for. And that money is going away because you don't have to supply all that stuff anymore. So it should not affect your regular budget. But you, in my eyes, you misspent that money and brought in more people than what you should have and spent that money in different areas than it was meant to be. And now you're going, I'm in a bind because they're going to cut my money.
Well, I think one of the questions is, has the American people changed the way they eat? Do they not sit down? Is it more of a drive-through now? You know,
Well,
there's
for Amy and I, it's almost, well, of course, we're in between two homes, right? Well, three, really.
oh, Mr. Bragger over here.
Big
Daddy Warbucks.
It's just about cheaper for us to eat out than it is to sit down.
Yeah, groceries have grown, and we all know that,
Yeah.
to where a meal is not what it used to. Unless you're growing it in your garden, then wait a minute, let me back up. Anybody bought fertilizer lately? Ooh, doggy, as Jed would say. Or ye doggy. That's the proper way to say that.
We need to talk to Barry and Harold about a fertilizer business.
The whole natural way. Good morning. We do hope you've got a smile on, and we welcome you. We certainly appreciate you joining us. Anybody like boxing? Mike Tyson, what is he, 57?
Yeah.
58 years old,
Something
going
like that.
back in the ring?
With this young guy from YouTube.
Man, I couldn't, I do good to run down to the, no, wait a minute, walk down to the mailbox. Let me rephrase that. But he's going in the ring. Is it Rocky Balboa going back in? Can he handle it?
I'd like to fight Mike Tyson.
Oh, I bet
I mean,
you.
I want that $3 million payout. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. I
You
ain't
could run
gonna
around
win. You know, and he swings at me, and I'm out. But give me my paycheck, and I'm out of here.
It's not for me. I don't want to be hit by any of those
And I
guys.
didn't say I was going to get hit. I was going to dodge it, but the wind's going to knock me down, and I'm not going to get up.
Them guys are good at what they do. And, of course, we all love watching the Rocky movies where the underdog moves up and wins. So we'll see what becomes of that.
I don't know if that's going to happen on this.
And I'm giving everybody an assignment before Friday, before Greg and the whole gang arrives on this. We were all big fans of the TV show that had Lee Majors in it, The Fall Guy. And Barbie, Mr. Ken Barbie, and the guy that also was in The Notebook, plays the lead character of a new movie coming out called The Fall Guy. And they've taken a brand new Silverado and painted it this color of the old trucks. Now, I watched the trailer, and it seems to lack what the TV show has. Ski, have you watched the trailer? And what is your opinion of it? Yay or nay?
Well, listen, there's a trend these days to take old things and try to make them new again. We just saw Roadhouse re-released with Jake Gyllenhaal playing the
Yeah.
now they're taking this television show and trying to do the same thing. Listen, more power to those guys and the efforts they're putting in it. Gosling, isn't that his name, I believe?
Yeah, that's it, Ed Gosling.
And I hope it makes him tons of money. That's how they make their living. More power to them. There's one of those trucks running around here, by the way. I've
Yeah,
seen
it
some of the
is.
car shows, and you know, it's not for me. But I'm not taking anything away from it.
But the new show, folks, I looked at it. It just doesn't have that charisma that Lee Majors had. Colt Seavers, man, he was to the bone, man.
Look, they did it with Hawaii Five-0. They tried to do it with Magnum PI, and that's just sacrilege.
Yeah, so there we go. That's something new, but we'll discuss that on Friday. I'm going to make everybody watch that before it gets here. Another big thing.
Yeah, and y'all can report for me. I ain't watching it. I'm sorry. I'm going to fail that test.
You're not going. I'm talking about just the trailer, not the movie. It's in theaters right now.
Okay.
I just want your opinion of the trailer compared to what it was.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I'll
We're going to
check
move
it
your
out.
mic closer. Everybody says get your mic a little closer there to you, Ski, so we hear you. We'll be joining Ski here in just a moment to find out what he's got going on this morning. Don't forget, we're going to be giving this away here.
Oh, the
Move my
Scotty
hand.
Ray Report Hyundai of Meridian coffee mug. The only way you can get it is for your birthdays and anniversaries. And we're still working on phone number for some reason.
Somebody, you trying to point fingers?
No, I was just talking.
Yeah.
But for right now, if you'll get on Facebook, we don't monitor the YouTube portion, but if you get on Facebook and comment your birthday and your
Oh, that
anniversary.
actually comes there also.
well, check that out.
All that comes in there.
Well, if you're on YouTube, comment. We got you.
Yeah.
We will put that out, and we'll make a draw at the end of the show, and have a lucky winner.
Hey, if you were traveling down North Hill Street last night and you think, what is it? Is that gunfire? Oh, yes, you were right. It did happen last night, somewhere around 37th Avenue. It was numerous reports of bang, bang, and bang, bang, is what I'm told by folks that live
Sure,
in the
them wasn't firecrackers.
They were pretty sure they weren't firecrackers as they whizzed by, is what I was being told there by the general public there. No one was hurt, to our knowledge, no damage on any home or vehicle at this point. Another story coming up that we'll tell you, a guy just doing his job and gunfire rang out at him. Man, what happens when you can't do your job? We'll tell you about that this morning. Ski joins us next as Kojak to tell us about a great benefit coming up here in the Meridian area.
Mow, dig, haul, trench. The reliable Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor is highly capable. A smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation and versatile attachments that help you handle the job. The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as your built-in. are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North, is ready for spring. From weed eaters to push and riding lawnmowers, and one of the largest selections you'll find in chainsaws, along with power tools and generators for backup power. Maybe you're in the market for a TV or maybe a guitar. And not to mention a large selection of diamond rings and Louis Vuitton purses. The Rockhouse Gun and Pawn even has a private lobby for your pawns for confidentiality. Visit them today, Highway 19 North, Rockhouse Gun and Pawn. And welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. As we begin today, we are getting reports that police are out on King Road in Lauderdale County. As we get more details on that, we will be bringing information to you here in just a little bit. But there is some tape up and a large police presence King Road in Lauderdale County. We'll pass.
If you go down that way going to work, you might want to find a alternate route this morning. Don't get caught up where you're late for work, because we know most of y'all wait till the last minute to go somewhere.
You want to spend that extra 3 minutes in bed.
Well, yeah.
And I am the world's worst. If I put coffee in a car, it will be on my shirt. Angie bought me 2 or 3 new white shirts. Yes, every one of them is worn, Mal. I can't hold things, apparently.
So here's my thing. When it comes to coffee.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have a lid, I'm okay. But if I put a lid on this thing and try and drive down the road, I'll spill it. But if I don't have a lid, I'm good. I guess, I don't know.
Have you ever done that thing where you're going down the road and you got the cup sitting there and you reach up and you're not looking at it and you miss where the hole is and it... I've done it. I'm poking fun at myself.
I think we've all been guilty.
Yes, we have. Ski, there's something special going on. And this is a benefit for a fellow officer, is it not?
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about this and what y'all got going here with the Sheriff's Department.
So, and we actually go a little bigger than just locally. I do work for Sheriff Calhoun here at the Sheriff's Office and have for his predecessor, Sheriff Solly, for a number of years. But one of the other hats I wear when I'm not there is representing law enforcement officers across the state of Mississippi through an organization called the Police Benevolent Association. And we've got an officer by the name of Alex Coleman, who is a Lauderdale County product, went through the school system here, worked for a multitude of law enforcement agencies here, the police department, Marion Police Department, MCC, I think, where he got his start. And with us, before he moved onward and upward and went to work for the University of Southern Mississippi Police Department. Unfortunately, very recently, at the beginning of April, Alex got diagnosed with metastatic thyroid carcinoma. So that's cancer of the thyroid. And the metastatic part is what's really heart-wrenching because it's on the move and it's aggressive. But Alex is a fighter. He's in good shape. He's got a great support system in his family. And obviously a bunch of good friends that care for him greatly. People in the school system here that he engaged with as a school resource officer.
He's got kids, doesn't he?
That's true. He's got one child that I've met, tiny little gal, sweet as they can be. And the challenges that befall a public safety officer in something like this, let's face it, there's not a whole lot of us, okay? There's about 11,000 spots across the state of Mississippi, but some of those are represented by the same person. We've got about 5,000 of those that are members in our organization. So I don't know one that doesn't have to do something else on the side, working extra, working overtime, working a side security job, or whatever to make ends meet. Well, when something like this happens and it knocks you off your feet and you can't get out there and do the things that you've always done, now it's tough. So we've gotten together, done a couple different things. So the Police Benevolent Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit arm of our organization that allows us to do fundraising in a tax-deductible way for the donors, in a tax-free way for the people who are on the receiving end of that. Also gives us a way to do it remotely. So if somebody is wherever your listeners may find themselves, they don't have to be local here to the Meridian area, they can donate online. You can do that through the PBF's webpage. That's www.pbfi.org. And Alex and his family will be the first face that you see when you scroll down there. There's a donate button. 100% of those proceeds go directly to Alex and his family. There's no percentages like you find with some of the other fundraisers you may see on Facebook.
If you do a
social media.
GoFundMe, they take a portion of the money
That's
away.
correct. I mean, they've got to pay for their platform. Ours comes through the benefit of our membership, takes care of that piece of it. So locally, what are we doing? Friday week, the 24th, just in time to get you kicked off for your holiday weekend, we're going to do a hamburger hot dog cooking downtown at Dumont Plaza. Start about 10:30 for people if they want to drop off donations in person. We'll start serving around 11. You get a hamburger hot dog, chips, drink, and a cookie for $5. 100% of the proceeds going there. If you would like to support this in some way other than just giving funds, we also need sponsors. The more stuff that we can get to provide for this benefit that we don't have to buy, the more money is going to this family, which is what we're looking for. So we've got a flyer you're going to see in different places around town. I've left copies with you. We'll get it up on some of your posts so that way people can get to the links and donate as they see fit. Obviously, any and all support is greatly, greatly appreciated. And we've done these kinds of things in the community here on and off as they've presented themselves. You know, obviously the officer has to request it, and some of them are a little hard-headed. They don't want to ask for help.
And that's understandable.
Sure.
All of us go, no, I can make it, I'm fine.
And that's fine until it's not. Because, you know, what doesn't stop happening? The mail. And they keep bringing those bills on a regular basis. And sometimes we've got to be strong enough to ask for some help. We were blessed and fortunate to be able to do a big benefit a number of years ago for Sheriff Solly's daughter. Years before that, we did a big one for 3 of our officers who were fighting the scourge cancer all together.
I remember that.
Community comes together. Mississippi is known as one of the most charitable states in the nation for good reason, and we're humbly asking that people support this benefit however they see fit. If you got any questions, you can reach me. I'll leave some information where we can get it posted either by email or telephone. And it's kind of fitting that we find ourselves in National Police Week this week.
We are.
The great John F. Kennedy signed a law back in '62 establishing National Peace Officers Memorial Day, which is actually tomorrow, and that the week that it falls in is being National Police Week. There'll be several of us going over to Jackson. There's our statewide law enforcement officer memorial will be this evening on the grounds at the Mississippi Supreme Court building there just north of the Capitol. What would you think if you had to guess how many officers we've lost in the state of Mississippi since we started keeping records? How many would you think?
Ooh, I would say a couple hundred. Guessing?
Yeah,
am I close? Odie, what's your thoughts on it?
I was sitting around 200.
Almost half again. 338 at present.
Wow.
Since we started keeping records. And every year we find ones that we're able to research that, record keeping in the early days was a little sketchy, so we've tried to do better at all of that. Nationally, the numbers, I'm looking at a resource for those people who are interested. The Officer Down Memorial page is considered the end-all be-all for gathering statistics across the country. So when you look at that and you look at the history of what's there, we do pretty good comparatively. But how many is too many? Really don't know.
One's too many.
Exactly. There are people who will say, well, you knew you signed up for that when you got started. No argument.
No.
And we do. We understand that that's a risk. Try not to think about that too much. Try to train well and plan well. But what you have to understand is that each and every year, there's going to be somebody out in the middle of the night doing their best to make sure that you and your family are safe. And sometimes that comes at a very high price. I have been both blessed and humbled to have the opportunity to serve some of the family members of these officers that we lost. I've been involved with this organization since 1997 when it came here to Mississippi. And that puts me in a unique situation to be able to take a check like this one that comes from the Police Benevolent Foundation and go and put it in a beneficiary's hand when we've had an officer lost. And it doesn't bring anybody back, but it keeps the wolves back for a little while. It takes that burden off of them. Yeah. Just this year, we're already at almost a 10% increase in line of duty deaths across the country.
We've had a couple of close calls here in Lauderdale County. In the end, it was okay, but 2 officers shot already. Well,
and I'm going to tell you something. The impact on that individual when they've been through a situation like that is the ripple effects go on for years and years. It doesn't matter how great of medical care, how great of support that you have, you still have to deal with those situations.
Don Dice said to bring one of these flyers by and put at the
Bulldog
the Bulldog shop, because there's so many people going in there to get cheese.
Great. We'll make sure one gets by there. Thanks for that. I'll make a note.
That is
And anybody
really
that wants
something.
one in their office, if you'll drop us an email with somewhere we can email it to you, we'll certainly drop it and get it to you a lot quicker that way.
And then Sandra says, this is not this Friday, but next Friday at the 24th at Dumont Plaza. Now, let me tell you, the price of food has gone up. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
But a lunch plate, you can get a hamburger or a hot dog, chips, a drink, and a cookie. $5.
And
It's a bargain.
$5.
If folks have got can't leave work and there's a group of them, we'll even see what we can do. We've got some volunteers that have already agreed to be runners, and we'll look at doing some delivery as well. Folks, just reach out to us. We'll see what we can do.
Well, look, we appreciate you coming in and telling us
Golly.
about this. Coming up on the 24th, a great fundraiser here, and we hope everybody will support this. Ski?
Hey, we appreciate you.
And we appreciate you letting us
And
pick
yeah.
on you about Kojak
Hey,
and all
listen,
that fun stuff.
anytime. When I come back next time, I'll bring the hat and the lollipop.
There we go.
He's a dead rigger for it. It just hit me when he sat down with a suit there. So glad to have him. Coming up, we're going to tell you some more local headlines that have happened. All that's next with Scotty Ray and Odie. Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. And as we mentioned, someone doing their job. That was what was going on yesterday.
Yeah, and they're talking about not a high popular job,
No, it's not.
but it's a job.
Somebody's got to do it. You don't pay your bills, somebody comes with the suck-up truck, and that's just the terminology for it. Suck-up
Yeah.
truck to come get what you don't pay for. They were out doing their job yesterday, and as I got word of gunshots ringing out, I thought, well, I'll just call Odie and Greg and make sure they're okay.
Told us to duck while we was outside working.
Y'all were actually a block away outside and had no idea what was going
I
on.
still didn't know.
Yeah, here's what happened yesterday as we pulled this up. Repo man doing his job on 26th Avenue and 11th Street when gunfire would break out. This is where he's parked in front of the Meridian Police Department. I thought, boy, this thing's going to have a lot. But I want you to put yourself in this place. This man works toward the back of this truck when he's doing it. All right,
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. And then there's where the bullet hole hit there on the side. It was one single shot fired, and it did hit the truck there. Now, there could have been more that went off that I'm not aware of, but that's the only one that I could find where it actually struck
How
the
we
vehicle.
didn't hear that, because that should have gone tang or something.
Well, y'all did have big trucks and moving the
Well,
building.
I guess so.
Pay attention,
So,
Otis.
We
I'm
thought
trying
it
to
was-
keep y'all alive.
We thought Bobby Faber's record was just backfiring.
But that's what happened yesterday. If you saw the police presence right down, this would be right down from the 911 office, right down the street from
like
the two blocks. And they were repossessing a red Chevrolet Track. Had a busted back window. That didn't. I don't think they
If
got
you
that
owe,
yesterday.
your stuff will go.
Yeah. Now, no arrests were made. I think they do have a person of interest. So that's what we know at this point. Now, the Kemper County Sheriff's Department was busy yesterday, and there were some people going, well, you didn't give me enough information. When we first broke the story, I gave what information we had from the Sheriff's Department. I gave a description of a man, and then we would later get the picture of the man and then his name. He has been taken into custody. As we go to Kemper County, this was Kemper County. His name was Harold Green, a U.S. Marshal there. We're in town helping out with that, and he was taken into custody. So that's what we've got at this point as we update you of what went on yesterday in Kemper County.
I tell you now, you push out what you can, and I know people turn around and they say, hey, can I get more? Can I get more information? Sometimes what little you get at first is about all you can get.
Yeah, and then it comes as soon as they can give me more information. We don't always get that. We do have some pups that are missing in the area, and this is kind of near and dear to every one of us. You lose your puppy dog. Here we go. Let's go out here and take a Roscoe, and also Scarlett is missing out in the Clarkdale community.
Oh, get them home. They want to be home as bad as the owners want them home.
Yeah, because they're probably pretty hungry about right now.
Yeah, and thirsty and want some. Look, there's nothing better than last night I came home. And Amy opened the door, and here comes Bert just bouncing and wagging his little stub tail. And, there's nothing better than a good dog just happy to see you at home.
Absolutely. They love you when nobody else does.
I'm telling you, you know how it is. You lock that dog and Amy up in the trunk and go back and open it up in the middle of the July heat after about 30 minutes to see which one's glad to see you.
And we've tried this.
Yeah. You did?
North Hill Street was busy. We even had another accident last night, but always remember this. If you're on that right-hand side during drive time, it's probably best to take a right-hand turn and then come back, because crossing over, and I don't know that this is what happened. I just know from my own experience sitting at Subway wanting to take a left-hand turn, sometimes it's better to go down, make a loop, and come back down if I want to go that direction. We had a fender bender there yesterday right in front of Little Caesars. And this would be later last night around 9 o'clock. We had another one with possible injuries happen right there in front of Mickey D's.
Busy traffic area.
That is a hot spot for incidents that go on. Yeah. Now, we did get this from the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Ward Calhoun released the information yesterday. And let me pull this up. And as we talk about this, loss of life, railroad tracks are dangerous. Stay away from them. If for whatever reason you're crossing a railroad track, look both ways. If you're walking, you should never be on the tracks with a four-wheeler. Please don't ever do that. Things can happen. As we see here, Sheriff Ward Calhoun released the following statement yesterday. At approximately 8:15 on Sunday night, eastbound train struck an individual who was operating an ATV that was sitting on the tracks just west of the Kewanee Road. Tumsuba Volunteer Fire Department, Russell Volunteer Fire Department, Metro North Fork Southern Police, Stella, McMahon arrived and responded. Deputies were on scene, and they have pronounced Chad Austin Carney, 41, of Tumsuba, deceased in this accident. And we pass along condolences to family members. This is the second time, Odie, within 2 weeks that we've lost a person on a railroad track.
In that same area, and I've mentioned this before, prayers for that family. It is traumatic. It's traumatic for each one of the officers, the firefighters, Metro, everybody out there. Metro, they deal with this, then turn around, they may deal with 3 more deaths that day. They need our prayers, but always remember, the conductor of that train goes through the same feelings of, why did this happen to me? Why couldn't I have stopped? And it doesn't matter. You can tell yourself all day long, you've got so much weight, you're so much speed, it's going to take you a mile to stop. You can't. It's absolutely impossible for you to stop, but you still sit there and think about, why couldn't I stop before I hit them? Just prayers for every single person involved, the family. We hate that this happened. I
need to say a happy birthday yesterday to a young lady who had a birthday, and I bumped into her when I was in Marion yesterday. She is such a sweetheart. Ainsworth, happy birthday. And I had a chance to take a picture with her yesterday afternoon.
Golly, I remember when JD and them brought her home.
I know.
Wow.
12.
That is amazing.
Odie's getting old, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that.
We're getting wet, you know.
Coming up, we're going back in history. We'll take a little trip down that. We've got a lot more local news that is happening. We want to remind you also tomorrow morning there's going to be a bridge closed. So you got a little bit of time to think about tomorrow. Let me pull this up from the road and bridge crew. Meehan Savoy Road South. They're going to be closing temporarily their bridge there from 4 a.m. until 11 a.m. So it'll affect the morning traffic tomorrow. So keep it in mind.
Yep.
We'll be right back. Scotty Ray and Odie as we begin your day.
Just $41 a month for this new Brother embroidery machine. Buy it local and get instructions for life, service, financing, the lowest price guaranteed, and take it home today at the Sewing and Vacuum Center in Meridian and Select in Flowood and Hattiesburg.
Your next appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigeration on Highway 19 North. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, drop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers. A showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen, Amana, and delivery is available. With a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. and by appointment after hours and weekends. Summertime has arrived and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
Fantasy Cottage Floral and Gifts is located in downtown Quitman, directly across the street from the post office. They are your one-stop shop for all of your floral and gift-giving needs. They have everything you need to make those you care about feel special, from a fully stocked gift shop to roses, mixed flower arrangements, and plants. Whether it be a special occasion or just because, remember them in your time of need for all of your funeral floral arrangements. Call on Fantasy Cottage Floral and Gifts at 601-776-3010.
And welcome back, your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, as we begin this day to go back in history. And I've asked a question. Everybody's looking because I couldn't type and think at the same time. Tanya Tucker, am I not mistaken that many, many moons ago back in the Delta Dawn?
Tanya Tucker, you got it.
He just caught the Jamestown Ferry. Y'all remember that song? Well, it kind of goes with today in history, as it was 1607, Odie, that, well, the Jamestown settlers arrived. Can y'all imagine that? That's been quite some time ago.
Wow.
Still portions of that still there, Jamestown, as the great U.S. of A. began.
Yeah.
It'll be a little over 100 years after that, we'd decide that, well, we'd like to do this on our own. A little argument started.
We don't need no more help.
And what was it, a shot heard round the world?
Yeah.
It all began there. Now, you got to remember, this was back in the day before 4 lanes and all of that. These two old boys headed out today. They had the blessings and they set out from St. Louis. Lewis and Clark began their expedition on this date in 1804. Always remember, you got to know where you've been to know where you're going. The explorers, they were great. They saw parts of America that we never will. I bet you they bumped into a grizzly bear or two.
Well, I mean, you come up on something like this. Well, there wasn't a bridge.
That's true.
Well, we either going to swim or find a shallow spot.
Here, you go first. Let us know how deep it is. I would not have been a good explorer. We go back to 1863. Today would be the day that they were trying to figure out how to get to Vicksburg. So they came in the back door, so to speak, and, well, the Battle of Jackson, Mississippi happened, as it would all break loose there during the Civil War there in Jackson, Mississippi. And then basically they would close the gap in between there and Vicksburg, and, well, she surrendered in 64. We go back to this guy I really liked. Anybody remember the song Dream Lover?
Well, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, the guy that wrote that, sang that, Bobby Darin, had a birthday today. He also done that song, Splish Splash, I was taking a bath. Long about a Saturday night.
Yeah, that's it. Look at there.
I hadn't heard that one either. But did you know that Bobby Darin was married to Sandra Dee?
See, kind of lucky little fella there.
I'll never forget that scene from, what was it, Grease. Look at me, I'm Sandra Dee. Okay, I'm not an actor. I give up.
Or a singer.
Yeah, I don't do that
Neither
too
one
well.
of us do that, but we have fun trying.
Me and Odie are not the smartest men in the world, but we know somebody who is very rich and has stumbled upon something. He got so good at it that he went ahead and sold it to Disney.
Well, he was so smart, he figured, look, I've already wrote 6 movies, but I'm not going to publish the first 3.
Yeah.
We're going to start at season 4.
He was that smart. He would even develop Raiders of the Lost Ark. That guy, y'all know that? As we go back to remember this guy who was born today, George Lucas, who started all that Star Wars stuff and Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that he was behind the Indiana Jones, to be honest with you.
You know, I don't remember if I knew that either.
I'm just not a Star Wars type.
Well, no, I
person.
like Star Wars. You know.
And let me be honest with you, I've never watched a complete show. I've seen about 3 seconds that went, yeah, okay, I'm good, bye. I've never watched one.
Oh, no, I watched them all. I like them, but I'm not going to dress up as nothing.
Yeah, I went down to the mall one time, and I walked through, and there was people dressed like that, and I thought, ooh, baby, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Y'all just stay here. See y'all later, bye.
Yeah, so what are you doing tomorrow?
1948, this is very important, and it would take one president that had the guts. A lot of them talked about it, but they never would do it. This old boy stepped up and said, I'm moving the capital, and we're going to recognize it. It would be today, in 1948, that the United States recognized the country of Israel. Finally, 1948. Finally. And then it would be Trump who actually recognized their capital. Many talked about it, but they just wouldn't do it. They knew it needed to be done.
They was just too scared.
Yes, sir, Bob. Now, I know you don't know this chick. She had a wand, and Odie dreamed about her from time to time.
Not that one. There was another one.
1970. Anybody remember watching The Wizard of Oz? Yeah,
the original?
Yeah. Y'all remember the Good Witch of the North? She passed away on this date back in 1970. Her real name was Billy Burke. Thought you might want to remember that. Shows that were made long time ago. You didn't watch The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. The original one.
Yeah. Number 1 today, it went. Don Williams, one of my favorite, the gentle giant of country music, had a number 1 song today in 1977. Ken Rainey was playing it on vinyl, going out on AM radio. Some broken hearts never mend. As we go back for the gentle giant there. And just about every song on there I know. Lay Down Beside Me, Amanda. Woo, boy.
Turn Out the Lights.
And Love Me Tonight. You just can't beat Don Williams. If you've never heard his music, look it up sometime. Now, also on the other end of the radio dial was this old guy named Leo Sayer.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Yes, you have. He had that song "When I Need You," and he had tons of other songs. Leo Sayer, you remember that?
Oh, I remember the song now, but I didn't remember his name.
Yeah, there was another big song that he had. But that was his big, When I Needed You. Oh, well. Now, my wife walked in while I was putting this together, and she tried to tell me the Who Cares test. And I said, surely this is important. She goes, no, who could care less about that? I do it. I feel like there's other people like me out there. As we go back to 1982, and if you were to rewrite this song today, you would have to change a few things. Because your nobody called today, and she hung up when I asked her name.
Oh, I remember that song, yeah.
Angie said she just didn't think it was appropriate anymore, that it had run its time. I disagree. Sylvia, do y'all remember her? Of course, now she'd call his cell phone, and she wouldn't have to call his house. But, boy, I like that one.
That'll get you in trouble.
Was that it? Now You Can Dance? Leo Sayer, Now You Can Dance?
Really?
I think I kind of remember that song.
I know that's, yeah. I like the beat.
We go back to 1982, and this guy, you know, he was a TV dad. Leave It to Beaver. He passed away on this date back in 82. Wow. Hugh Beaumont. Y'all remember him?
Back when TV shows had a message.
Yep. He knew the answer to everything. Just ask him.
They all got messages, just the wrong ones nowadays.
True. Well, this was a starlet in her day. She was a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
Anybody remember the name Rita Hayworth? Oh, she was a legend on the silver screen. And she would pass away on this date back in 1987. And I think it's best we remember people like Alzheimer's disease.
Man, I tell you.
And young, 68.
Yeah. Mama's got dementia, and it's terrible. It's terrible. My aunt died from Alzheimer's. Worked with a lot of people with Alzheimer's. It's terrible.
It
terrible,
is.
terrible.
As we go to 1994, if Bubba can dance, I can too. Who remembers that song? Shenandoah had a #1 song today back in 94. Woo, I remember seeing them at the Temple Theater umpteen dozen years ago.
Leo Sayer, Lady in Red.
Don't know that one.
Oh, I know that one. I just didn't have a clue it was him.
There it is. Debbie said it. You make me
Lady in
feel
Red.
like dancing.
Yeah.
Dance the night away. Hey. Okay.
Well, darn, I really know this old cat.
Yeah, he was
I just didn't
had
know
big
his
hair.
name. Yeah.
If he'd done other things, I'm not sure.
Well, I like his music now.
It seemed like there was another big one that he had also.
Wow.
1989, this would end today. A lot of you loved it. He would go on to be in Back to the Future from this show.
Yeah.
But this made him a household name. Anybody remember this show? Family Ties? It was big. Mom always had a big grin on her face for some reason. Don't know why.
She's getting a check.
This show, I absolutely loved. It would really...
yeah.
The first time I ever saw Bruce Willis was in a movie called Blind Date. And I guess everybody's been on a blind date that just...
With old Basinger.
Yeah.
Kim Basinger.
And no matter what he done, it turned out bad. She tore up his car. He got shot at. And
Tore
it just,
him up.
Yeah. And then he fell in love.
Yeah.
After that, he would get a TV show with Sybil Shepherd. It was a detective type show. Y'all remember that? Moonlighting? Pretty good show there. Had a little comedy mixed in with some drama. One of the first times that it happened.
And don't forget the romance.
Oh, yeah, they did have a thing for each other.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy, this was funny.
This was your favorite show.
What was the assistant coach, the older guy's name on the show?
I don't remember.
As we go back for Craig T. Nelson, who remembers the TV show Coach? What was Ski, tell me, what was this guy's name right here in the middle? Right there, well, it's on the left.
Van Dyke.
Van Dyke. He was funny. He just had that dry sense of humor.
And then you had the big dumb one on the other.
Yeah, he was very dumb. We know a lot of people like that. That old big dumb one over there.
Don't talk about Greg.
He's going to get you. Christy said she loved Coach. That was a good show. James Haggard said that she was
Luther.
a pinup girl. Luther is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rita Hayworth was a pinup girl during World War II. Absolutely beautiful woman.
Jerry Van Dyke was his name.
Jerry Van Dyke.
Yeah, Jerry Van Dyke.
But Luther was his name on the TV show now that everybody is saying that. Dumb one does Patrick on Spun. I did not know that.
Look at Terry
I had
in
no
Split,
idea.
Croatia listening. That might be as far as you've ever had anybody.
That's pretty far out there. We appreciate you joining us there from Croatia. This is a show that I think most people would agree that was just, they could take a dumb idea and take 30 minutes and make you giggle and laugh and fall off the couch. Seinfeld is who I'm referring to. It ended today in 1998. Can y'all believe that?
I was put on a mission yesterday. I've got to research an episode, and when I got home, I did
Swimming
a few things
trunks?
last night. No.
Okay, all right. I was going to tell you how that ended. Yeah. The ugly baby?
No, this one's something that has to deal with Elaine.
So, and speaking of Elaine, since there's a bunch of men up in here, let me pull a picture. Do y'all think she was like a beautiful woman?
Well, she was pretty until I saw her dance, and then
How'd it go?
I changed my mind. It was, I mean, I can't dance, but I'm better than that.
She was pretty, but that dance, when you think of her character, that's all you know. Is the dance.
But here we are all these years later. Here we are
Still
all these years
talking
later,
about
still talking about her. So
You're right. It worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's impressions that last a lifetime, and that certainly does. And who remembers Kramer going down the interstate with the yellow paint hanging out the door? His portion of the highway.
Yeah.
yeah, I may have had an experience or two with that.
Did you might have? I bet you have. Things that just make us laugh, and that was one of them. We would lose one of the greats in 1998. They called him Old Blue Eyes. As today, we would lose Frank Sinatra. And yes, there's the extra S in there, and we'll get rid of that later.
We'll have
Wrong.
it fixed by next year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll fix that by then. Jody Messina had a #1, and we'll just say her Give a Darn is busted. Who remembers that?
Yeah.
Met her many, many times, and Jody, what a nice girl she was. Heads Carolina.
Heads Carolina,
California,
tails
tails
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a little mix-up going
And
there.
when she went to retirement, like you said, she went into retirement.
Whoop, whoop. 2003, we would lose this guy. He would appear on TV always with a serious face.
Yeah.
He would do the Untouchables. And I didn't know that he was in Caddyshack 2 and did a little bit on Beavis and Butthead. And
I didn't know that one.
I'm learning about Robert Stack done so much more than I realized there. Unsolved
Airplane.
Mysteries. Airplane, I remember that.
I don't know. Can you even
I picked the
find
wrong
that
day to
today?
quit sniffing glue. She's horsing around. It was a horse in the bed.
Yeah, that's a show that goes right along with. You've got Airplane, and then what's
Naked
the
Gun.
one? Naked Gun, and Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles, yeah. Well, they just poke fun at everybody. The scene of walking to the airport, the pilot trying to get to his plane, and he's having to fight everybody because they're giving him pamphlets.
It was the monks, and you got
Yeah. That's the way America was.
Greased Lightning.
Yeah.
Y'all would. I'm telling you, if y'all have not seen that, don't go get it because it will drive half of y'all
To my
crazy.
Blazing Saddles? Or which
Yeah.
one? Naked Gun?
Just all of them.
Oh, yeah.
This whole new generation here would have to have a safe room.
You would be. Oh, it'll make you
couldn't deal
giggle.
with it.
It will make you giggle. Let's go back to 2011 when he had a different wife, and he may have had a different wife before that, but now he has a new wife. Who am I talking about? Blake Shelton, as he married Miranda. They were all happy and stuff there until something went awry. They never really did tell what happened. I think
Well, I think she had more fun than he did.
that's why the divorce happened, from what I understand. But I can't prove that. That's just gossip, as Joan Collins would say.
Of course, she is a little looker.
Well, she was a very good looker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, she took him from his other wife that was his
Yeah.
road manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave this alone before we get in trouble there. It was 2013. This old boy just had a thing for Taylor Swift. So bad that he thought he'd go for a little swim and end up at her house. And that's when they put him in cuffs and hauled him away. Whoop, whoop, whoop. How could you really, truly have that big a thing to where you want to be it's because it's a stalker, is it not?
That's a stalker.
Yeah. You ever had any dates end up like that?
Yeah. Maybe one.
Okay, just making sure.
I had to run.
I did not know this. I have watched Tombstone over and over, and it never clicked as to who this guy was. You remember Curly Bill? Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Do you remember years and years ago during the 70s when they made a movie about Jim Jones? Then there would be Red Dawn, 1984. This guy was in all three of these.
I see it now.
I didn't know that was the same guy.
Powers Booth.
Yeah. I was sitting here looking at it and I went, duh. And he played that Curly Bill part.
To a T.
Yeah. And there were just so many different little bitty small roles that he played in movies through the years. That was just three of the bigger ones that stuck out. But, boy, I sure like me some Tombstone. And if you remember that Jim Jones show, y'all, history repeats itself. Go back and watch that so that will never happen again.
You got that right.
There's some bad people that try to portray themselves as good, and they're not. Now, this one almost slipped by me at 5 o'clock this morning. You know how something pops in your head, and I thought, wait a minute, let me look this up. Mr. Tudball passed away today.
Oh, I hate that. Tim
Conway passed away on this date, and I did not know that he played. How do you say this name right there?
Which one?
Off of SpongeBob?
Oh,
Barnacle.
Barnacle.
I didn't know that he played the voice of that. Did you know
I didn't
that?
either.
Now I know.
I'll be darned.
Tim Conway.
Lord.
What a great comedian. And it just went on from there. And that dentist scene, I don't know if y'all ever remember seeing this. Let me pull that back up there. It was good.
That is absolutely one of the best scenes. That and the Siamese elephant.
Yes, sir. The elephant was absolutely funny. And then Gone with the Wind, as she came through with the curtain rods, knocking everything down. Things that you remember. As we go back to 21, today would be the day that the Opry finally came back live. Instead of having cardboard cutouts, they actually had people there. Lori Morgan would hit the stage and take over and do the first song there in 21 as they recovered from all of that. So, thought you might want to know that as well.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We got so much more to talk about. Oldest man in the world. He did do that. And Harvey Korman.
Oh,
let me tell you.
yeah.
He was in Blazing Saddles.
He sure was. He was the right-hand man of the governor.
Your gov written on the back. And yes, it was tempting to ask Governor Tate Reeves if he had that on his back when he was in here, but I didn't. I refrained from it.
I was close to saying, well, hello, Governor. But we tried not to. We kept it professional.
We'll be right back.
The Preserve at Meridian is the premier senior living community in the Meridian area, offering independent living cottages, assisted living, and maintain their independence and pursue an engaging lifestyle with a robust activities calendar, personalized care programs, wellness activities, restaurant-style dining, and much more. Call or visit us online today at preserveatmeridian.com to schedule your personal tour.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
And welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. As we mentioned, yesterday afternoon was one incident after another. As I was in front of Northeast Middle School, we had a wreck there. We had a wreck on I-20, and then another one within seconds happening on North Hill Street. This is in front of Northeast Middle School there. We had a little fender bender, car there damaged, and we've got one.
That's another one of them real strong T-posts.
Yep.
That one.
That car was also involved in it. So be careful, cautious of coming out of there. That can happen again, be an instant replay of what happened yesterday afternoon. And let me see if I can find that as I was talking, what went on yesterday. I got a picture here somewhere. There we go. This is I-20 as we go there to take a look here. Off in the ditch it went.
I'm going to PSA this right here.
Tell me.
Do you have any other pictures? Do you have one?
I got one more right here.
Of that? I don't know if you can zoom in, but there's a little black SUV sitting way up there in front. That's it right there.
Right there.
All right. So let me tell you, this is a PSA that every one of y'all need to really think about.
Okay.
What caused this incident here is that SUV and this 18-wheeler are both traveling
westbound
on the interstate, doing interstate speed, 65, 70 miles an hour. Okay. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the hood of the black SUV decides that it does not want to stay latched anymore. Oof. And it flew up and rested upon the windshield of said SUV.
Okay.
Now, what you do not do is panic and slam on brakes. What you should do is slowly start to put on brakes and start to pull over to the side of the road. You should have a little bit of an area that you can look out of. You've got mirrors to see what's going on both sides. But you had an 18-wheeler driver that was paying attention. That when they slammed on brakes, instead of this 18-wheeler tearing up the rear end of this vehicle and possibly hurting someone, he took to the ditch.
So you're saying this was a real truck driver is what you're telling me?
This was a truck driver, not one of our normal, everyday steering wheel holders.
Okay.
He slammed on brakes and made a diverted effort to not hit this vehicle. Do not panic. You have got to remember what's behind you. You should always remember mirror, mirror, mirror.
You can even roll down your window and stick your head
going
out
on.
if you got to.
If you got to do the Ventura deal,
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do, but do not slam on brakes because you can cause a bigger pile up, your injury, or an injury to someone else.
Skeet, you look like you had something you want to add to that.
You know, we have the same problem with emergency vehicles all the time. People will see an approaching emergency vehicle coming up behind them, whether it's a law enforcement, firefighter, emergency management of any kind. And their instinct, because they don't think about it, and we don't do a great job of training drivers in this state, is to panic and slam on brakes. 99% of the time, if you see me running lights and siren coming down the highway, I have no interest in talking to you. I won't by. And you want me to get by because there's a problem up in front of us somewhere, and you want me to go handle that so you don't get caught up in the middle of it. So the proper mechanism in the driving instruction world is to clear the lane. In other words, take a look to your right if you're in the left-hand lane, using both of your right side mirror and your center mirror. As long as it's safe to do so, signal your intent and scoot over. If you're right beside somebody, keep going. Get past them because they may not see me. And even if they do, what's their job to do if they're in the right lane? Slow down. So it should be very easy for you to get past them and scoot over. And that way that clears the lane for those emergency services. And then that relates the same way in this particular situation, because had that driver been able to look through the gap, as Odie mentioned, and I've had that happen to me, had a latch failure. Now, a lot of times, one of the things we didn't talk about, Odie, is that the reason this happens is because people don't properly secure their hood back. It's only holding by that first latch.
Yep.
And but you can look through that gap, check your mirrors, signal your intent to move over, because just because you saw your hood come up doesn't mean the person behind you realized that. That trucker was at a great vantage point because of his elevated position to be able to see that. And know that was happening in the instant. And thank goodness he was paying attention, because a lot of people don't this day and age.
Ooh, it couldn't turn
These things are the bane of the existence because everybody's got them in their hand or otherwise distracted, whether it's whopping the kids in the back seat with a shoe or whatever the case may be.
I want to bring this up because we had traffic last night out at the Ag Center. We're going to have it again tonight. Let's pull this up and show you what's going to be going on tonight. As graduation continues tonight, Southeast will be at the Ag Center. Thursday, Northeast, and that's going to be at Northeast football. It's going to be there at the stadium. And then Clarkdale will have theirs at their football field on Friday night. But tonight, again, at the Ag Center, we will have another big crowd of cars there. So keep it in mind.
Ooh, Southeast. And while we're talking about Southeast.
All
right, so tonight at 6:45, West Lauderdale softball takes the field for game 1 of state champions. They are the North State champion, and they are playing, and I'm not sure who, for state champs. Game 1's tonight. Game 2 is Thursday, and I don't think they've announced game 3 if there has to be one. But talking about Southeast, let me get my little note here.
Okay.
Southeast baseball series, best out of 3. They were tied with Marion Park, I think maybe is the team they were playing. They were 1 game each when they went into last night's ball game. Whoever won this ball game is going to be North State champion and will go on to play for the state champion for 3A, I believe. So Southeast takes the field. At the top of the 5th inning, West Marion, thank you, Susan. At the top of the 5th inning, Southeast was down by 3. At the bottom of the 7th, they were down by 2. The score was 3-1, West Marion. At the bottom of the 8th, it was tied 3-3. And guess what happened?
What happened?
The storm rolled in. Top of the 9th, game was called. And it is put on hold. So they're at the top of the 9th. The score is 3-3. And they will be playing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Southeast for maybe 1 inning. But this is for the North State Championship for 3A baseball. Southeast is right there. Do you know You're at a whole game. You just came up from 3-0 to tie the game. You've got rally cap going. You've got energy behind you. And then you had weather that put you on hold. But that's okay, guys. Keep that momentum. Keep it in your head. Show up at that game tomorrow night. 1 inning. You're rested. Blow it out the park. Bring home that North State championship and go play for the big game.
All right, we are getting a message that there's possible
Is
structure.
it South State? The website said North State. But somebody's telling me South State.
Okay, we'll go with South State then.
We'll go with half state, and then the state's coming next.
All right, we're getting a message that there's a structure fire in the 9300 block of Highway 495. So if you're in that neighborhood, that's not far from what also happened a while ago. So we'll keep you updated on all of these stories that are starting to break here as we get this morning underway. We'll be right back. We'll give away a coffee mug in just a moment.
Bring on the amazing colors of spring. Al's Garden and Gift, voted the best garden and gift shop, specializes in beautiful bedding and vegetable plants, shrubs, fruit trees, hanging baskets, succulents, roses, and ferns. Freshen up flower beds with mulches, soils, sod, and pine straw. Also sprouting up unique gifts, candles, pottery, gourmet sauces, spices, and food items. Come try a cool and delicious treat by Ice Cream Factory 2. It's the perfect time to spend in the yard. Bloom with happiness. Visit Al's Garden and Gift today.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPal windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Battery power made by steel. Right now, save $50 on select AK System battery tool sets. Real steel. Find yours.
Welcome back. Your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie as we get this day underway. Don't forget, when it comes time for this right here, Chet's Paint and Body. If you've got a bump, a ding, something more serious, Chet can put it back together just like it was. Kind of like Humpty Dumpty. They do their work professional. You can't miss them in the curve there on Highway 495.
No.
Drop in and visit Chet, a team of professionals that put your car back to the way it was. A handshake is everything. 737-2961, or just drop in. They'll be glad to give you an estimate. It doesn't cost anything for them to figure that for your car. If you want quality work and somebody that stands behind what they say, Chet's Paint and Body.
OEM. They work with your insurance.
We don't know who he is, but
we don't have a clue what his initials stand for. But they work with your insurance. You don't have to do that. Let Chet fight with your insurance company to get that took care of.
Right. And as we get ready for this big benefit, give us the times that we need to come down and get our hot dogs.
You get hot dog hamburger. We're going to be at Dumont Plaza between 10:30 and 1:30 on the 24th of this month. We'll start serving about 11. But you get hamburger, hot dog, your choice, chips, drink, and a cookie. $5. Hard to beat.
$5.
Yes, sir. And that goes to help out the Coleman family during their time of need, who he's being diagnosed with cancer. And, well, he's worked for Meridian Police Department. He's worked for the Sheriff's Department and done a lot in our community. Let's support him as you can. Again, it's the 24th?
That's correct.
24th. Come down to Dumont Plaza. Odie, you going to do some birthdays for me?
We're going to do some birthdays. We've got Sherry Corley Dean yesterday. I apologize. I didn't get that in time. Had a birthday yesterday. Tammy Godwin Roberts got a birthday. Tammy Lee May has a birthday today. Al Posey as well. Hunter Gray, 3 years old. Nita Haggard. Tony Wallace. Elise Joyner, 6 years old. Christian Moore, 12 years old. And Carol Holland, 13 years old. So we got our young listeners in with us today.
Yes, sir.
And so let's see. We hit the old button and we go round and round. Nita Haggard, happy birthday, winner of the Scotty Ray Report Hyundai of Meridian. Go by Hyundai of Meridian on Highway 39 North, the big gray building. And while you're there picking up a test drive a vehicle, you might find one you like down
Sure
there.
might. Yeah, we enjoyed it. And Odie, as always, I wanted to bring this up. We got a set of keys that were found at the Walmart fueling station there on Highway 39. This happens to be your keys. Drop into the attendant. They'll be glad to get your keys back to you.
Yeah,
So,
bring a lock that one of those that fits.
Only you could come up with that, Odie.
Oh, man.
All right, let's leave on a good note with a great Bible verse. What do you got for us today?
We got Romans 10, verse 14. How, then, can they call on the one they have not believed in? And how can they believe in the one of whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? You know, pick you a church. I'd love to see you in mine. I know Scotty Ray'd love to see you in his. Find you a church, be around like-minded folks, and learn about what the Lord Jesus Christ has done for you and what he can do for you. And all you've got to do is talk to him. There's a direct line. You can talk to him 24/7, every single day. He'll be with you in everything that you go through. Want you to have a wonderful day. Be safe today. We'll be back in about 23 hours to get your day started on a hump day. Until then, remember, we love you and can't wait to see you tomorrow.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.